my channel. I am actually going to just make like sort of an update video today and talk about kind of like what has been going on in my life over the last 4 years. Because if you've been watching me, I made my last video 4 years ago. And a lot has changed since then. So I actually have some notes just to kind of help me through this video so that I don't keep saying because I tend to do that a lot. And see, there I go again. So just ignore the ums. I'm gonna sort of just kind of summarize what happened in the past and focus more on like the now, just because there's kind of a lot that has happened and a lot of reasons why I've been so gone from YouTube. I mean, I was never really consistent in the first place, but definitely there's reasons why I just kind of stopped 4 years ago. So I'm gonna kind of go off my notes here. I tried to write as much as I could down just to kind of help me, like, you know, refresh and not kind of be blank about where I'm going with this. Last video I made, I was living in Colorado. I was sitting on my couch and telling you guys that I had a new baby, or I wasn't even sitting on the couch. I think I was in the bathroom maybe. But I had a baby, and that was like, it was weird because I had stopped making YouTube videos for a while at that point already. And so when I came back that time, I had a new baby. And so it's just, I feel like these videos are so consistent with that. Like, I'm gone for years and then I come back and there's like this whole big change in my life. So this is probably the biggest life update that I've made so far, or that I'm gonna make. But I was living in Colorado with my two boys, Romy and Adrian, and their dad. And we were living in a duplex there in Colorado Springs. We had moved there in 2015, I believe, and we moved there in 2015, and then I moved out of Colorado, and I actually live in Idaho now. And I moved here in 2018. And so I was living there with my two boys and their dad. I ended up moving to Idaho, and their dad and we split up. We had both been pretty checked out for a while. I want to say pretty much since almost like basically the beginning of our relationship. And I know that sounds kind of bad, but I think in a lot of circumstances, people just end up staying together just because you're comfortable and that's what you're used to. And that's what we did. We were pretty checked out for a while though, and we finally decided to end it. Sorry, I'm just going over my notes here, and I'm sorry if the lighting kind of goes in and out. I'm sitting in front of a window, and I guess the clouds are moving. So, yeah. But let's see. So I actually moved to Idaho with their dad, and at that time we were not together anymore, but we moved here just kind of to like refresh our lives, basically. We thought maybe like that would help our relationship and it would just help us be happier. And that was basically the opposite of what happened. So we moved to Idaho, and basically we realized that our relationship was like almost like just toxic and it wasn't good anymore. So we ended up just splitting up. He actually moved back to California. And that was probably the lowest point in my life. I was happier because I was finally not even free, just happier because I didn't have sort of just like this roommate that was judgmental, and it wasn't a good relationship. It was a pretty much just a toxic relationship that I was finally free from. And but it was the most low point in my life because he moved and left me here with, I had the kids and I had the apartment and everything, but I couldn't afford to live life by myself with the kids. I literally, like, it was like Thursday and he said he was moving to California like that weekend. So I had like a day to find daycare for the kids or like a babysitter. And mind you, I was working full time. So, you know, I mean, I was making money and everything. I just wasn't making enough money to be able to pay everything on my own. And on top of that, now I had to pay daycare as well. It was really hard. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was so stressful. I literally lost so much weight. I was stressed. My anxiety was through the roof because, you know, it was kind of one of those things where you kind of feel kind of selfish. Like, I don't want to give my kids a bad life just because I was not happy myself, you know? But in the end, it really did just all, it happened for the best. It all fixed itself. And it was the best decision that I could have made for everybody. Um, but I was still working at Panera. And I know that in all my last videos, I've talked about how I've worked at Panera. That was like my first job after having a baby. And I worked there for 5 years. And so I was still working at Panera. And I actually met my partner currently there. It all kind of happened pretty fast. And I know a lot of people judge for this kind of stuff, but their dad moved to California, I want to say in like August. And I had already started hanging out with somebody new just because we moved to Idaho. I guess I didn't touch on this, but we moved to Idaho in March. I think it was March. And we were basically done. As of then, it was just not working out. So we were basically over then. And then I started hanging out with somebody from Panera in like June. And then we went on a bunch of dates and just really hit it off. And then we like were officially dating in, you know, like boyfriend, girlfriend, I guess, in like July. And then their dad moved to California in I think it was like either September or August or September. I had never really like been with anybody else. I had only ever been with their dad. I mean, I was 15 when we met, so it was hard to like it was weird, you know, it was weird. Definitely weird. But it was literally probably the best thing that has ever happened to me. Because I'm so happy and I feel like I actually have a partner now and I'm complete. And yeah, but let me continue with my story here. Fast forward. So that was in 2018, right? This all happened. Fast forward to now. Um, and we are living together. His name is Andy. And we're living together now. I mean, we have been for a long time, but we have a baby girl. So I have another baby. She's actually 5 months old. And my boys are now 8 and almost 5. I just turned 27. So it's just so surreal. Like, this is so weird. But, you know, my first YouTube video ever, I was, gosh, 18 and pregnant. And I was so immature and I didn't know what I wanted and I didn't know anything about life. And here we are now, you know, 3 kids later, 2021, I'm 27. And it's just so weird. But anyways, I feel like I'm super getting off topic because this was just supposed to be about my life and like the last chunk of it that I haven't been on YouTube. But yeah, so I have a 5-month-old girl and I have a new boyfriend. We're not engaged or married or anything yet. Just living life. And we are super happy. My boys are so happy. I have more than I've ever had. And a lot of that is just happiness. You know, we don't, and I don't want to say that I wasn't happy back then because I think that everybody's levels of happiness just kind of change with however their current life situations are. But I'm definitely I would say, a lot more genuinely happy now than I was ever. I can't wait to continue to share my a life with you guys. It's so exciting now that I actually have time. So I was going to touch on that too. I have been staying home since the pandemic started. I was working at Panera before, as you all know, and then I was working at a bank called Banner Bank, which is a local state bank here. I think that they're also in California now, and like Oregon and like Washington and some other places. But it's not very big. But yeah, I was working at the bank as a teller, and I worked there for almost a year. And then the pandemic started, and I was pregnant, and my kids got, their schools got shut down. So I just basically had to quit. I think I was like 5 months pregnant when that happened. And then I had a baby. So I was like on my maternity leave anyway. And then we just realized that it was probably more worth it for me just to stay home because daycare is so expensive that if I was working, that my like whole paycheck from my job would basically go to daycare. So like, other than for me to get out of the house, there really is no other point in me going back to work right now. But I am babysitting. One of our friends has a 1-year-old, and I am babysitting her like 2 to 3 times a week. And that's been, fun because it's just, I get to stay home with my kids and have an extra kid, and it's just fun. And it's, a job. I mean, it's hard to take care of so many kids all the time, but it's what I love to do. So I'm not complaining. And what else? I do obviously have a new house since the last time you guys watched because I've moved a lot between then and now. I mean, I think I've moved once a year for the last 4 years. So hopefully we will be here for a while. And I actually do have a house tour video that I recorded just for my friend. So I'm gonna try to like edit that and make it not so like friendly, I guess. Not like, I don't know how to say that, but like in the video somewhere I told her like, oh, see, we should be YouTubers because we're so good at this. And so I'm gonna like cut that out. It's so awkward. But I do have that. I'm gonna do a house tour now that we've moved in, but that was like my only empty house tour that I actually recorded, and it was just for a friend just because I love to do this stuff. I love giving like empty house tours and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to edit that and crop out some stuff, and then I'm gonna upload that. I'm sorry that I keep looking over here. There's just like dogs and people, and I need to just like find a place to make these videos where I'm not like distracted. And like in my last unboxing video, I could hear all the background noise, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to figure it out. I need some more time. Like, I feel like I've forgotten completely how to make videos and talk to the camera and edit and everything. Mind you, the quality of everything has gone up substantially. I was watching like my old videos and like they're all blurry and they just look old and I look different. But yeah, I'm like so excited for this new journey. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and just let me know if you have any other questions. And if not, then I'll just see you guys in my next video. Bye!